Lali-Ho, everybody! Welcome, Free Enterprise fans. How y'all doing? I'm Muppets in Space, and alongside me for this one is not just tens of thousands, it's Zoe Vermillion. Zoe, how are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. I'm the only person in the world that spells million with only one L.
Hey, it's still worth just as much to me.
Well, I'm glad I gave you the intro because I definitely couldn't have topped that.
Oh God!
But we're gonna have a great race here for you tonight. We've got Cubsrule21 versus Infinious. This is the third to last match, ish.
Oh wow!
Of the first week of the LaliHo League. We've had a great race, lots of tight finishes. Pretty wacky one earlier today, and I'm excited to see how this week finishes out heading into week 2. Behind the scenes, we've got Solaris on restream and Ali on tracking. Make sure you give them props. They're going to be keeping me and Muppets in line, which is a tall task of anybody.
Oh yeah, I go off the rails often. Thank you, Ali. Thank you.
But looking here, we've got. If I'm remembering my twins correctly, this is a big shoulder pads. Porum. Yeah, this is big shoulder pads. Porum start. And we've got Mylon and Nogopogo. So double boss objectives, no character hunts. It's gonna be interesting. Ordeals is more valuable now. Stuff like Baron Castle and Dwarf Castle gets some extra value with the extra bosses there. What are you thinking? What do you think about the tournament so far and the flags that we're having Swiss, what have you?
So I played around with the Swiss flags a little bit on my own last weekend just to see what they were all about, and there is some real whack-tastic things that you can do with this flag set. I really like the change up with the quarter sell price specifically, and T Wildish adds some more value to a lot more of the early treasure checks, like your Antlion Cave, your Eblon Cave, that sort of thing. And what I've noticed with what's going on with the races most recently is that your opening game really matters a great deal more in this particular flag set than in many others, because if you've got the resources right out of the gates, you can dismiss a host of other checks if you're right on the trail.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely something I've noticed both as an entrant in the tournament myself and just watching the matches throughout the week. It comes down to, compared to something like Highway to the Threema Zone, where routing and gambling was kind of key, efficiency in checks is what's really giving people the win here in the LaliHo League thus far. So if you get that good early start, you find maybe a couple good J items just to get the ball rolling through Antline and Fabul defense, like you're going to be well on your way to sporting a pretty sizable advantage if your opponent didn't find those things. We'll see how this early game starts. You go ahead. Sorry.
One of the other things that I've noticed with this flag set specifically is that character checks can almost matter as much as key item checks.
Absolutely. Wow, double white mage start, and there's one half of one of our objectives, starting with a pink tail.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's like half of an objective, because you got to get the hook too, and then you got to hope that ain't your only way into the underground, especially with a party that's as underpowered as this current party. But we'll see what Infinious and Cubs do right out of the gate here. Of course, dismissing all of helping ways. What's the name of it? What do you guys call this?
I just call him go away.
I love it. Go away. Oh, so right away we see divergence here. Cubsrule is going to loot Barren Town. Actually do some shopping checks. Infinious is going right after the Watery Cave treasures. And this is interesting because that waterfall with the 3 treasures behind it that's in this floor can have some real banging gear. And with a party like this, you might actually find something of real consequence: a power staff, Artemis bow. There's a white lance up top.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head if Artemis Bow is tier 7 or not, but we do have the T Max tier 6, so won't be pulling anything like a Crystal Sword or anything like that out of here. But you could find a Heroine Robe, and a Heroine Robe with a Porum and Rosa Start could get you a nice kickstart if you find maybe a halfway decent bow and some good arrows to knock out some of these early checks.
Absolutely. It's Ladies' Night over here in Free Enterprise on Randomania 3, and welcome everybody. All right, so we've got more early checks, unorthodox checks, because we've got two bosses. Cubsrule is actually going to take a swipe at whatever is in the D-Miss spot, which is, well,
maybe not.
Yeah, that's a big old nope.
Infinious pulling a tiara and a ninja sword here out of the backwatery pass. That tiara giving a huge wisdom boost to your lady who equips it. Only really useful for Rydia, but the defense it provides is really nice.
Cubsrule didn't save before that boss check, and so now Cubsrule has to go back and loot some of those treasure chests. I think Cubsrule found some stuff that he thought was pretty compelling in there, and I see the wizard robes and the wizard hat, which is great because, if I'm not mistaken, your party doesn't really start with a whole lot in these flag sets.
That is right. We start with the C Nikki flag, so everybody's going to come without wearing any armor, and they'll have a random weapon that they can equip from tiers 1 to 3, I believe. We do have a starter wizard hat and robe in our starter kit, and we also have a D-Mist on Hobbs with a Rydia that could use that tiara right away.
Good gracious. Okay, so that Rydia, oh, and she's down.
Could have used that tiara on right now, huh?
Could have used that tiara a little earlier. Well, whatever. Yeah, Cubsrule actually has a really strong setup now. Has wizard gear on both of their white mages. Is going to do an octo check right here.
Oh, and that is Asura, making sure she does her, bathroom checks, powder up all 4 faces.
Yeah, yep. Powder up, mean face. Powder up, happy face.
Infinious, by the way, once that Rydia went down, did reset out of that D-Mist. Can't imagine he'll leave it hanging for long, but doesn't really have quite what he wants, maybe kill it quickly, but he has that knowledge, and that's important.
Yeah. I can't think that Cubsrule, oh, yep, and there he is. Cubsrule gets the check right there. Let's see if Cubs actually takes a swipe at this one. Cubsrule has the good gear, and, well, there goes Rydia.
Oh, it's so rude.
Later, girl.
Like, that is like your master's daughter to this one.
Yeah. Well, I think Misty Dragon is just a little angry about their luck recently. Oh no. So Cubs is actually going to revive Rydia, and pray, I think.
Yeah, this will be slow, but you're gonna get a good character out of it and a key item check, which could turn into another character, could be that hook you need. Meanwhile, Infinious is gonna go ahead and loot some of Dempsey in here, likely go ahead and launch the hovercraft just so he's out of the way for when he does find that hook to turn in the pink tail.
Yeah, make it one thing.
Yeah, no matter of what does he do at that point. I haven't seen any really great J items looted. I haven't seen a heroine robe or even a good bow.
I saw an hourglass too, but that's only useful in certain fights. So yeah. I mean, I remember the 2018 tournaments. I would just buy up hourglass 2s like they were going out of style, and I loved that item, but that turned out more to be a thing for 4 or 5 bosses and maybe some grinding if you get wild hair up your nose and do some gold dragons.
Yeah, they're really good for your grinds if you're doing gold dragons. They can be useful for a couple trap chests if you just need something to get through maybe the Mad Ogres on a hook route. Or they can be used on Dark Imps, Officer Soldier, Baron Guards, half of the dolls, and Dark Elf second form. That's really kind of the bosses where having Hourglass can really help you out.
Wow, you had that right on tap. I applaud that. I couldn't have just plucked that out like that. That would have taken me a hot minute. All right, so Infinious is going to go back and try his hand at that D-Mist spot again. He's got an Elven Bow to work with Rosa and a Silent Staff with Porum. We'll see if that actually tips the scales. 132 with the aim function, and while the 128 with the Silent Staff. That's actually going to be what makes the difference. Bye, Rydia.
Dima said sleep. Didn't you hear her the first time?
This is just brutal. I don't know why you would want to heal Rydia. Like if you raise her up, 20 hit points is not going to make the difference. So it's really just a raise and pray right here.
Yeah, raising her up to give maybe an extra target for D-Mist melee if you want to try and keep your Rosa and Porum alive. I could see that. Raising her up at the end of the fight, I think would be what I would do to try and get the experience.
Absolutely.
Cubsrule is through. Is going to be able to take this Rydia off of Hobbs. Probably go get the pop summon and then check and see what that D-Mist is holding.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and I really like seeing the Rydia right there at Hobbs because you can turn it right back around and go through the other side. I'm really curious to see if they get lucky with a Sylph find in Hobbs.
A Sylph would get their party online. With that and a Tiara, they'll be able to take out Antlion and Football Defense in most of the overworld pretty easily.
Oh yeah. That being said,
like a Titan once Rydia's got the MP pool would be nice. Just no whiffs, no whammies, please.
Yeah. I mean, even an Ifrit would be fine.
Well, that's I think we call that a whammy.
Ouch. Ouch. Well, shucks. There ain't nothing you gonna do with that, except perhaps a meme or two. But that's about it.
Infinious parking quite a ways away from Hobbs to go check this resets and is going to have a shorter walk to Antlion here. I don't hate that. It paid off with the reset. If that had been something good, you would have lost a little bit of time. Ooh, Moonveil.
The Moonveil pickup is nice. You can get yourself into a Zeus gauntlets. All right, whatever. You can get yourself into long fights with the Moonveil, but those fights are technically free, just so long as you're not having to reflect magic, because the wall does wear off, but that dodge ability does not wear off.
Yeah. Demas saying, "Here, child, you'll know what to do with this when you grow up," handing over a Zeus gauntlet. But yeah, adult Rydia can wear it, young Rydia can't. I guess it's just her hands don't quite fit in it. That's
her hands aren't big enough.
Yeah, I was like, that's my only justification.
Yeah.
The entire time, I'm like, when I first found out she could wear it, I was like, it's only adult Rydia? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you ever try to put on a gauntlet when you were 10?
I haven't tried to put on a gauntlet and I'm 30.
Fair enough.
I have worn chainmail though. That was fun.
I've never worn chainmail. Not even when I was doing Shakespeare. Oh, bacon.
Bacon. Got some snake arms.
What does that smell like? It smells like bacon.
Smells like the 64 floor glitch.
Well, yeah. Smells like that when your timer is off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I didn't notice, but Cubsrule picked up a Zeus gauntlets in the Antlion cave just randomly, and a Siren. So now we're looking at, I mean, with a Siren pull, you could actually do a brief grind at the top of Ordeals if you needed some levels or some hit points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I actually really like, especially with this party, I would definitely consider doing that. We don't see it much these days just because with T Wildish, you tend to get the power you need, but if you're struggling and maybe you want to get that Rydia a bit more online, if you maybe find like a self-summon, popping it to take the quick like 6,000 something experience can be a nice influx. Or you get a Magma Key.
Magma.
And you can pop it on some, pop it on an egg if you want now.
Liquid hot magma.
Do you think the Magma Key was just like poured as liquid hot magma into a mold and let like
It would have
solidify.
to be, right? It would have to be. Yeah. But then once it came out of the mold, still magma.
Yeah, it's still magma. Yeah.
It's still magma. Nobody can touch it. It's actively burning your hand. That's why you drop it down the well. You're like, oh, let me use this key. Ah, it's so hot. And down it goes.
Yeah, like
Oh, it did something. That's nice.
Yeah, you just pick up the case, like it's just in like a nice acrylic case.
Oh
and
yeah,
then you take it over to Agert, and then you're just like admiring it in front of the well, and then
It's a-
like it just slips out of your hand.
Beautiful pelican case, specifically designed for this key. Gorgeous key too. Red, ruby red. Looks very valuable. Little warm.
But touch warm. It's a shame we have to drop it down a well.
All right, Cubsrule finally gets through that fight and is now got himself a magma key. I don't really see Cubsrule doing anything different than what Infinious is doing right now. So we've got a pretty neck and neck situation here. That's what a lot of these races have been under these flags. It's just neck and neck finishes, back to back to back to backers.
Yeah, the few times where you've seen like very large swings in finish time is usually because one runner took a gamble that just wasn't maybe the mathematical play. Maybe they fell behind and they wanted to try and make up. But if people follow the math, we're seeing a lot of very similar finishes because these seeds, while not exactly linear, tend to draw themselves out, and a lot of those misplays that you maybe make, you go check something that isn't panned out whatsoever, they start to equalize, and both runners eventually do a lot of the same.
Yeah. These flags definitely tend to favor the math, and I think that J items have a lot to do with that, as well as the importance that is placed on which characters you obtain too. I see. Wow. Complete divergence here. Infinious is landing in front of the dwarf castle, while Cubsrule is fighting Evil Wall at the Baron Guard spot, looking for that Yang. And I actually don't hate this play from Cubsrule.
Yeah, I really like this with the introduction of the EXP no boost flag that we have going on right now. Your party isn't going to have a really great catch-up mechanic, so getting your characters earlier rather than waiting is going to allow them to start getting some of that experience and give them more power by the end, even if it's just slight. That you're going to want that. So if you
Evil
can
Wall
take
is
out...
being rude, though.
Oh yeah, that's Evil Wall. Hopefully the boss after this isn't much ruder. We do have it's about a 4,000 hit point spot that punches very hard. Stop it! Gosh!
Wow. Game has it out for
naps.
Rydia. If you've ever done any of the speed runs here, you know this.
Yeah. Ask me how many times Octomom has killed my Rydia.
I'm gonna guess no fewer than 15.
At least, yeah.
Ooh. So Yang becomes Yang.
That's vanilla.
That's super vanilla.
Yeah, that is two pieces of vanilla in a very like that's like taking a spoonful of vanilla extract right there. It's just it's so overpoweringly vanilla.
Yeah, and boy, it's just hard to swallow that kind of vanilla, especially when it's dishing out 300 to 400 damage a shot.
Yeah, and those kicks would have likely wiped the party by themselves.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna pivot from that. We're gonna go drop this magma key and join Infinious in the underground.
Meanwhile, Infinious has done his looting route right here. And I like this, actually. Infinious is making the circle. And I believe what he's doing here is he's doing his looting route to end out... Oh, yep, he's definitely looting here. To end up being able to check the item shop and maybe even the weapon or armor shops here on the way to getting... the free key item that's down here in the Land of Summon Monsters.
Yeah, finds that trap chest early is going to have free loot for the rest of the way here. I do like the Dwarf and then Tomra shop checks, because if you find something like coffins and hourglasses, if you run across one of those bosses I mentioned earlier in the Fey March, you can just take it while you're here. As long as you can survive whatever hits are going to be dished out before you maybe stop them or hit them with the coffin. And that is could be a huge advantage if it is a required key item, or even just a really good piece of loot.
All right, well, here we're seeing the real final boss of Free Enterprise, and that is the menu.
Good old inventory boss. You reared your ugly head early tonight.
Yeah. Wow, Infinious is absolutely, positively taking no prisoners and caring absolutely zero about a lot of this stuff. Deciding to toss an Earth Hammer.
Yeah. That's something I would probably want to keep in my pocket just in case I come across a Sid here really soon. But everything else I definitely agree with tossing. That light sword is notable. It is the best sword for Cecil that you can find outside of a trap chest or a quest reward.
Oh, that's nice.
So, because it gives the +5 strength, it is a holy sword. The defense sword is about on par, but that +5 strength can really benefit you if it lets you clear another multiplier threshold.
Succubus is always nice. I've used it like maybe twice ever, but both of those times were very crucial.
Well, there's half of the forge, so that's another half of an objective.
Wow.
So each one of these objectives now only needs a single key item, or in the case of the bosses, just to find the bosses.
And a spicy check right here with sirens for sale.
Yeah. Selling the white spear. Guess he has no ideas about maybe keeping a cane around if it comes across one.
Well, I mean, I understand the pretense though, because Infinious is looking at 3 mages right now. Probably going to do some bounce strats. And if that's the case, then a cane would serve as little more than a really beefy anchor.
Oh, that's a free fight.
Now, at these levels, it's sort of a free fight. You still are going to have to heal because Fire 2 still does around 90 damage. And if you just sit there, you could actually lose Porum.
Yeah, this spot fortunately does have fairly low magic. His Leviathan here typically just uses the Ice 2s, so they didn't want to give it too much firepower. Yeah, like that one hitting for 2. Fire 2 just completely missing. I think you're safe.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be just fine. Yeah, the not saving is fine if you're just taking a peek. But if you plan on actually going after them, then you want to double back and save. Personally, I like saving before the check, but you know, if you're gonna reset anyway, it's not really that big of a deal to take a few steps. You know, if you lose by 15 steps, then you know what, GG's.
Yeah, with this party, not saving actually kind of makes sense to me. I'm normally in camp like save before I do the boss checks in case it's something that I can maybe take. But when you see, like, with this party, the only boss you were probably going to take here was exactly King Queen Evelyn, and you knew it was safe. So saving wasn't that big of a deal. So let's see what we get, aside from a nice little bit of experience. Oh! Okay. Well, so there's a character on the moon that opens up a load of boss locations, a boatload of key item locations. Now, I think probably the rudest thing that this seed could do from here on out would be to put Mylon and Ogopogo both in the giants.
And now that you've said that, Zoe, one of them's gonna show up there at CPU.
I am the Red Witch, and I am really good at casting commentators' curses, and I play fast and loose with my words.
My goodness. My goodness, gives two figs not.
I am sorry to both Cubsrule and Infinious if that is what happens.
It would make for an amazing finish, though. It really would.
It absolutely would. But Infinious, gonna go say hi to Yang, not the one at Baron Inn, the one that's here sleeping, and then go talk to his wife and say, hey, your husband's sleeping on the job, and also kicking my face in at Baron Inn.
Yeah, could you hit him in the head with something large, potentially an instrument that you might use to cook with, made of iron, maybe has a little Teflon on it.
And then she just gives you the spoon instead.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a very nice Teflon spoon. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm not sure this will do the job, but I'll give it a try.
I'll give it a try. Yeah, and throws it at him.
She hands you a crystal sword, you just go bonk him on the head with the hilt.
Ding, ding.
Hey! And if it is got the Zeus Gauntlet. I had forgotten for like a brief second that we already knew that, and so I got excited, and then halfway through my hey, I was like, all right, we do that.
So now that we've got a darkness crystal, and both runners have a darkness crystal, do you think either of them are going to take a swipe at perhaps looking at what's on the moon?
So I know what I would do, and I would expect one of the runners to do it. My guess would be Infinious. Would be to go check the character, and then because you are on 2 boss hunts, go peek Cave Bahamut and see who's there.
Yeah.
If it's Lunar Sparkle, go ahead and go check it, see if it's who you need. If it is a purple robe, go ahead and go check it, see who you need. If it's a fight you could hourglass, you have that hourglass in hand. Try and figure out a way to beat it.
Yeah. But Infinious is actually going to take the 4 Fiends fight at the Fobble Gauntlet spot.
Will we see leg, though? That is the question.
Probably. There's not enough thump here, I don't think.
So here's the thing that I'm curious about and also slightly confused. Infinious has sold the White Spear, has ditched the Earth Hammer, also sold the Blizzard Spears, which would make sense if you're going a Reflect strategy.
Sure.
But he keeps killing off his Rydia.
Yep. I wonder if Infinious forgot that there's no slingshot.
I would hope that's not the case, because if there's any character that's going to punish you for not being able to slingshot them, it is Rydia.
Correct. And I'm really worried that that's what's going on, because I can't imagine that Infinious is going to use Rydia as an anchor in a mage party.
Yeah. Well, I was only kind of off. You got the spoon from Fabul. It just wasn't from Sheila.
Right. Well, Sheila, are you going to give us something to cook with? The answer is not really.
Well, it depends.
You're cooking up more character checks. That's what you're cooking up, as well as some treasure.
Yeah, cooking up a potentially spicy treasury. Not as spicy as we're used to. We had to tone down the peppers for this tournament. That Max Tier 6 does bring it in line. You're not going to pull anything too out of this world, but you can still pull stuff like, especially for this team, stuff like a Stardust Rod for your Rydia. You could pull Sorcerer Robes. You could pull Life Staff, Crystal Rings. All of that is absolutely valid. You can also pull ribbons.
I love crystal rings so much.
Crystal rings and ribbons, like in this flag set in particular, if I go to check the treasury and I come away with a ribbon or a crystal ring, I consider that a successful treasure.
Absolutely. That instant death magic protection, the paralysis protection that's offered by the crystal ring, as well as, what is it, a +5 to speed?
Yeah, +5 agility, the only accessory that gives agility. Plus also gives dragon resist. So you can take some less damage from like a Pale Dim. But in Infinious, gonna go check ordeals, foregoing the rest of the underground for now, not gonna go to the moon yet. Gonna take down some magically inclined sisters here.
And is also going to take down Rydia along the way.
Moon Shop, only thing of note really is the elixirs there. I would say that's a bit of a whammy, but in my first tournament race, I definitely bought a stack of elixirs to use during my Zeromus fight. So it's worth keeping a note depending on what your party is going into Zeromus.
Well, and also if you can't find Cure 3s, an elixir will do just fine. If you're trying to nerf, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, we do start with an elixir with the dwarf kit, which is very nice. Gives you a little bit of a safety valve for either refilling someone's MP at a critical moment. Hi, Cecil.
That's a good spicy pickup right there.
That is.
I like that.
I don't know if Cubsrule did the full looting of the Fey March to get that light sword, but having this PKC is going to be very nice. I imagine we see Cubsrule go straight to ordeals, joining Infinious to get this Cecil online. If we come across a crystal sword at any point in this seed, I could see Cubsrule saying, "Oh, reflect strats? What's that? I'm just gonna berserk my crystal sword Cecil and have Rosa heal. I don't even need 3 other party members. We're fine."
Infinious back attacked by an Odin.
Oh, the Zentetsuken around the world. My favorite.
Nice. Gotta keep up with you, man. Now, the Berserk strats here are interesting. I'm sort of into it, but what I'm more into are the vampire strats right there. I really dig the use of vampires in this, and I don't think that vampires get enough love, especially in this flag set. It's an easy 350 to 500 damage with a J item that actually is pretty cost effective.
Yeah, absolutely. I love vampires, especially with a party like this. Finding them in a shop early, I would definitely be buying a couple. But there's the wraparound. What would be useful here? Oh, dolls. That is kind of free. They punch hard, but if you can find a way to kill them quickly, and you have that hourglass to stop the back ones to prevent the big doll, that could be useful.
I don't know that I would go after it right now.
Oh, no, not now. No.
But I think that a really nice play here would be go to Ordeals, get your Pally Cecil, come back down, fight some hair dryers to get some levels, and then go hit some dolls. Because that hourglass is going to do wonders for that hair dryer fight, and you don't know what kind of loot you're going to get out of that treasure chest. That is one of my favorite level grinding checks in the game, is just that hair dryers thing, because you can get so much out of it.
Yeah, that is a play that I think a lot of people are sleeping on, and if we can get one person to do it, I think people will see the value. Infinious here, though, something I was going to mention. This Yang, he pulled a Thunderclaw while looting. So getting this Yang to the party will allow him to berserk up that Yang for the Odin fight. He tosses Zeus Gauntlet on him and the Thunderclaw, and that Odin's not going to be long for this world.
Oh, yeah. Plus, that Thunderclaw has such great utility in this. You got the trapped chests down in lower Babil. You can one-shot all of those with a Thunderclaw Yang at moderate levels.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be great against if you come across Octomammoth. It's great for a Kainatsu that you maybe can't get out of the wave phase, as well as it's good for Dr. Luge. Those are all great uses for the Thunderclaw. That is one thing where if I know I have a Yang, if I'm still doing shop checks for whatever reason, maybe I'll dip into a couple weapon shops, maybe try and pull that Thunderclaw.
Infinious is looking pretty good for this fight. There's the kick, and it doesn't do a whole lot. So I actually dig Infinious's chances and his strats right here. That blink, getting that blink off was huge.
Yeah, and this Rosa hitting for 400 to 500 with berserked arrows, definitely nothing to shake a stick at, which is what Porum would be doing if she was attacking. So,
Ayo! That's a staff joke. 520. Love to see that. 592 and Dunzo.
There we go. Gonna get the Yang. Gonna get a key item. Let's see what we get.
Okay. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. But now we've got two different thumpers for each of our runners right here. Cubsrule doing the ordeals with Dark Knight Cecil. We've got Infinious, who just picked up Yang and a Thunderclaw. We are probably going to see some real solid divergence here, and I am excited for it.
Absolutely. I don't think Cubsrule found that Elven Bow. These arrows not doing a ton of damage, so that could lose him a little bit of time here. Infinious, though, gonna go.
This looks like a Siren.
Pop the Siren. Yep. Get the levels on the Yang so that you can take down the Odin. I like this a lot.
Yep.
One thing with that Luca key, because we don't have Warp Glitch on, which is what was on during Swiss or the group rounds for Remus Zone, in order for us to see that, we are going to have to dive through the sealed cave. And that's a play that I kind of like, because you get the key item information before the boss. If you're down to maybe needing just the hook or just the Legend Sword or just the Twin Harp, I would potentially go peek it. It takes about a minute and a half to get down there, but that's free information. And then if you're still looking for one of your two bosses, you can also just peek the boss. And then you know whether or not you need to come back if you can't do it then. Or if you get lucky and you pull something like, oh, hey, look, it's the hook. And then the boss is something like, oh, it's Bahamut. Well, now it's just free. And you just gain a massive amount of time.
And the aforementioned Thunder Gauntlet, Zeus Gauntlet Thunderclaw, right there for Infinious. Puts it right on his Yang. And I think that this is going to be a nice trek back to Ordeals for Infinious.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a relatively soon reset for Cubsrule. Doesn't have any lit arrows.
Infinious is not.
I think he's checking the treasury before he goes and going to check maybe these shops. I don't think he's found life potions yet.
Ah, yeah. Well, there it is. Boy, you are on it. You are on it, Zoe. Oh, I don't think he's found life potions yet. Doink, there they are.
So
I want to see you run one of these now.
There's so back for the Community Club Enterprise Legacy, I commented for the final week of season 1, and Infinious was one of our runners there. And there was a moment where he was looting trap chests in Lower Babel, and I was talking about how maybe you can pull a crystal sword out of there. And he pulls a crystal sword, and he keeps looting them. And I go, man, what's he looking for? Oh, I guess adamant armors are available, and he pulls an adamant armor.
Click.
And then afterwards, when he rewatched the race, he's like, I need you to commentate all my matches because you give me the best luck.
Brilliant.
Oh no! Oh, she moved.
Okay, yeah, she moved right. Yeah, one of the worst little. It's like it's not a soft lock, but it's like a baby lock. You know, you just have to go reload the screen, but it's just annoying.
Yeah, the Kaipo Inn lady. I found the one that I actually probably hate the most, and it's the little girl in Agate that guards the weapon and armor shop.
Oh yeah! Oh, I hate that little troll.
I in a practice scene I was running, she walked down the path I needed, so I walked back into the armor shop. I did that 4 times before I finally just fell in line behind her and waited it out. Okay, power shirt, cursed ring, I think
Stardust.
Stardust rod for the radio that's sleeping, another light sword. Okay.
Not a very hype treasure.
That is good for your Cecil once you get to the moon, Infinious. But that power robe on that Yang with the Zeus Gauntlet and the Thunderclaw is going to make that Odin just melt even faster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and if I'm Infinious right here, I've already done a level grind. Yes, exactly. I've already done a level grind. I'm already here. It's time to go up to the tower because I've got 2 bosses. I've got a key item check. I've got 2 characters right here. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. And maybe Infinious takes a swipe at Flame Dog Chest.
Yeah, there's been at least one race where taking the Flame Dog Chest gave a huge advantage to one runner. Looks like that may not be the case. Cubsrule, however, got through the Odin, so I got that prediction wrong. Finds an Artemis bow at Ordeals, which for this party is very, very good.
Great. And it's vanilla? What is this?
Stellaris, stop pandering to me. You're embarrassing me in front of Muppets. Come on.
Brilliant. Vanilla. It's Millie Vanilla right there. And CJ, thank you very much for that raid. Welcome everyone from CJ's stream. And that's right, Zoe, you can't embarrass yourself in front of me. I am the embarrassment.
This vanilla is actually an extra piece of interesting for me because this is vanilla for the 2 bosses that are characters in your party.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm a baseball statistician. I'm reaching for the weirdest coincidences to report on them right now.
Oh, you've got my heart, Zoe. If you start talking, don't start talking baseball around me. I'll talk baseball all day.
Well, I was gonna wonder, for Cubsrule21, is he saying that Cubs rule and then 21 is just an added number, or is he rule 21 in the Cubs rule book?
Or is there a new draft that we don't know about?
Oh yeah.
No longer is it the Rule 9 draft; it's the Rule 21 draft.
Yeah.
How else did you think they got Jake Arrieta? Well, they got Jake Arrieta because the Orioles have no idea how to handle pitchers. That's how they got Jake Arrieta.
Don't worry.
But back to Final Fantasy.
Neither do the Rangers, but let's move on.
Oh, Zoe, we could talk forever, I think. And yes, Graph, it is the Rule 5 draft thing.
It is Rule 5, yeah. Grabbing the chest on the way out. Headband, that goes pretty nicely. Nice strength boosting piece of head equipment. That is a sentence.
Strength boosting piece of head equipment. Yeah, that is a flummox of a sentence right there. Blame Rivers, perfect Berserk.
Oh, okay. So Infinious finds that Edward has a spoon in hand already.
A spoon. And my most recent play of these flags featured a Leviathan fight at Evil Wall, where I won with an Edward solo at 1 hit point. So spoon word for life.
Yep. And a Vanilla Rosa.
Vanilla Rosa. Gotta love it. No repetitions though. So never mind. There are repetitions. Maybe that's the next flag set.
Yeah, Brackets has the no dupes. We do have dupes enabled in Swiss. Rarely comes up because there are only 3 dupes per seed. Because we have distinct 10 on, and there's 13 character spots. And this is a fairly free Dark Elf. If you have white arrows, Infinious, already bow plus white arrows is going to make this melt.
So Cubsrule looking to take advantage of some AI script right here. Ouch!
Oh, yeah, he's got the ouch.
Yep.
Very heads up play coming here, knowing he has the Cecil to get the ouch script.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That'll save about 45 seconds to a minute on that fight. Having to wait to deal 500 damage with the Rosa. You just wait for a couple of kicks, take a swipe, and it's done. Me change.
That's what pirates say when they drop their pennies.
Not while I'm drinking water. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. I don't have a neti pot, but now I don't need one. Good Lord.
Drinking water around me is always a dangerous activity.
GG's, Zoe, GG's.
For full transparency, I stole that joke from the lovely Dijon Ketchup. So,
Dijon Ketchup, that's a great name. No death here. No death. Just open up the sinuses a little bit. That's all.
Oh, hey, look, there's the self summon.
Hey, that's not bad.
Oh, and Infinious is through that Dark Elf, so we will see what the Ki is.
What the Ki is who?
Yes, exactly.
Shall be. Can be! The hook!
Oh, hook. All right. So taking the Zot play here. Great call. Going to be able to turn in that pink tail. Get the first objective there. Gives you access to another character as well as another set of gated shops. I don't hate it.
It's that's fantastic, and I just want to point something out here, Zoe. It is 40 minutes into these flags right here for this race, and this is the first objective that has been completed, which for this flag set is pretty darn slow. It's been a rough setup here, but I think that Infinious just had the breakthrough. My goodness!
I was about to say, okay. Full disclosure, I'm slightly behind you.
You were thinking it!
I was about to say, if this is a crystal sword, Infinious really needs to go to the moon.
You were thinking it!
I'm going to refresh so that we're more lined up, because yes, I was absolutely about to say it. I had yet to see it on my screen. Look, it's Infinious running. I'm making the calls on comms. It's going to play out. Fine.
So good. Oh, so here it is, the moon play for Infinious.
Gonna get that Cecil. Already has ordeals done. Has a crystal sword in hand. Has a Zeus gauntlet. Has a power robe. That's basically a best in slot Cecil.
Yep. Well, and now the dropping of Rydia actually works to Infinious's advantage. You can anchor up with that Rydia, and you can Crystal Sword Cecil your way to victory right here. And with the addition of Yang, you have a 1-2 punch that really matters.
Yeah, and Spoonward. So at this point, between Yang, Spoonward, and Crystal Sword Cecil, with Rosa healing, just keep your Rydia and just keep her as your anchor, and you're set.
Thank you for that clip, Scala. Beautiful. Bang zoom to the moon. Infinious is taken off.
The only place uncorrupted by capital.
I mean, is it though? Because there is that naming way shop.
They are a co-op. We talked about this in the opening race of this tournament.
That's a pretty expensive co-op there, Zoe. I don't know. I think that's a monopoly.
I made the same observation, and Scala said that it's a co-op. So.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and buy up all of the steel that I possibly can with a couple of my friends and make a co-op for it, too. How's that sound? So Infinious did not finish Ordeals, so it's not a Paladin Cecil.
Has yet to go back, but I imagine he knows he has that Thunderclaw. He knows what's there. There we go. Yep. Ditching the Porum. Has 3 good Zerkers, a great White Mage, and an Anchor.
Yep. Here we go. I said, I'm sorry. I have a Crystal Sword and access to Cecil. It's go time. It's go time. And now it's going to be hot knife through butter time.
Scala, I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Are the Hummingways rabbits?
Are the Hummingways rabbits? They only take GP because it's shiny. I mean, you could say that about most things for the human race too, Scala.
Yeah, I think that's most people's fascination with money.
I'm not wearing a ring made out of like hammer finished gold because I think it's valuable. I wear it because it's shiny. And because I love my wife. Love you, Miss B. But also, it's shiny.
It is shiny.
It's so shiny. I love it so much. All right.
For having my shiny ring. So.
My ring, ultra. Allie's ring is ultra shiny. Ooh. What makes it ultra shiny, Allie? I'm curious.
Is that like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? We're talking Pokemon here now. Ooh. I mean, link the picture. Oh, the eye rabbits.
Yeah, they're rabbits. No, I get that they're rabbits. They're just capitalist rabbits.
Capital rabbits.
Yeah. They're Kappa rabbits.
Kappa rabbits.
$29.89. And done. I love the pause there from Infinious. It's like, gotta make sure to keep that timer low. You gotta keep that in-game timer low.
Well, the pause there, I believe, also cancels the sound effect.
Really?
So you don't have to hear the crumble.
I didn't know that.
We see Dia, another great runner in this tournament, do it whenever she casts Nuke, doing her reflex strats, because it's just a grinding sound effect if you do it enough.
Oh, interesting. Now, does that save any frames doing that? Because I know that audio can sometimes work in tandem with animation to sort of interrupt things. Is that actually a speedrun thing, or is that just an audio preference thing?
I believe it's just an audio preference, I think, and I am happy to be corrected with the way that Boardface handled disabling in-game audio that used to affect lag. I think it's now like normalized.
Okay.
Oh, Flame Dog chest on Cub's side.
Yeah, Flame Dog. Here we go. What are we gonna get? Let's see if this pays off. I love this check. I really do. I need to do it more.
An Avenger here would be the best.
Oh, I think you called it too late. I
called it for the wrong person.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was weighted towards a runner.
It's not intentionally. It's just I'm always right when it's Infinious.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
wrong when it's Cubsrule. I don't have favorites here.
Oh, sure.
I mean, the power has favorites.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if you have favorites or not. It's not like you're feeding information or anything. But
Yeah, precisely.
yeah, but you know, I do find it funny, a funny curiosity, a little bit of a coincidence that you seem to call it for Infinious all the time. All right, so Cubsrule is thankfully going to do this Earth Crystal check. Could have been sucked into the Moon checks pretty easily. Thankfully has decided to do this, and that's it's going to pay off in a big way because this is required.
Yeah, this
This leads to the check that leads to the hook.
the hook. So not technically hard required, unless the rat tail has another one of our key items, because
Sure.
runners only need to do 4 or 5. So it's
Right.
it gets you closer to your goal.
Sure. I like to say it's required if it has to do with any of the objectives, just because the quicker you can get to an objective, the quicker you're gonna get done with everything. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't have to do the pink tail, but that means that you have to do Mylon and Ogopogo, and that is doubly bad if they're in a really ugly spot.
Yeah. What's kind of cruel is that this, with the hook being here, that leads to the crystal sword, which would one-shot this Mylon Z. And also doubly cruel is that this is the Z variant and not the N Friends variant that we're looking for.
Oh yeah. Oh. Hey, Luca,
come on.
Luca, girl, seriously.
Please.
Luca punishing you for a little bit
Was
of
it leg?
Was that leg?
Was it leg?
I don't know. Was it leg?
Well, it's okay. Let me show you how.
Oh, it's a nice leg.
It is.
Yeah. So we got Ruby at Calbrena. And I don't necessarily think that Infinious is in for any real difficulty here.
So, my favorite fun fact about Leg is that I live with Leggy Starscream. She is my wonderful girlfriend.
Leggy!
And for Highway to the Rima Zone, she purchased a pair of tights that look like Rubikin's legs.
Oh, but that's brilliant, and
she wears them during her
less.
races.
That's yes. And hopefully going to the grocery store and driving to work and going to bed. Why would you ever take them off?
Yeah, this poor Eddie is just not getting much experience. But honestly, a Crystal Sword Cecil and a Rosa would be sufficient enough to beat Zeromus. But Cecil's also napping. I don't know what's going on here.
I think Infinious just doesn't want to have to deal with it right now. Is just kind of going all in with the Zerk and heal. This is not good.
Yep, there goes Rosa. One thing I am.
Oh dear.
Oh, okay. So this is. Do we remember who is at Dwarf 2? I wasn't paying attention in Zot.
I don't. Was it Octomam?
If it's Octoman, this is fine.
Yeah, it's Octomam. It's Octomam.
Oh, this is fine. We have a Thunderclaw. Yeah,
Well,
fine.
I mean, you have a Thunderclaw, but you also have a Yang with 399 hit points right now. And Old Man Exit.
Okay, so I'm again kind of concerned. He has a curse ring here, so this is fine. This gives someone to eat the first hit. Gonna use the rare bear struts.
No! Oh!
Get the power off. Get the power off.
No!
Get enough hit.
Why? No! Oh.
Oh, that's rough. One thing I'm slightly concerned about, if he was, it's possible that he was just keeping the 2 up because it allowed the AoE cure to hit harder, is if he was trying to keep a Cecil on the ground, still thinking maybe that slingshotting was a viable thing. That could be really bad for that Cecil.
I don't think that was it though, because
I don't think it was either.
Yeah, Infinious was setting up to berserk him next, and he just got dropped. And I think Infinious was like, screw it, I'll take care of this with 2 characters. Whoops.
Yeah, this would be a spot. Having an Ice Claw would be great. Having a cane to use one of the Blizzard Spears that he sold would be great.
Sure.
Going somewhere else would also be good.
Well, I mean, I personally like this play. You're already in for a penny. I don't necessarily believe that we've hit sunken cost.
Here we go.
But
Artemis Bow Ice Arrows.
There it is.
This will do it.
There it is. And aim is going to add just a little bit more to that. Yep, there's anchor.
Yep.
So, aim and power do not trigger any of the counterattacks, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
It's only fight command.
Yeah, the fight command is what triggers the counter script. So we won't be eating any fire 2 counters.
Well, now you will. And Edward ran away bravely, nobly.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's enough damage output for Infinious to actually complete this particular strategy. Never mind. Never mind.
I was pretty sure we were almost there. I was about to check the HP for the spot. So.
Well, that'll show me. Open my big dumb mouth.
You want the Yang up here though for the Thunderclaw, but you should be able to get him up. If you can heal up this Cecil, he can utilize some cover strats.
Honestly, I don't even think that's necessary, because this is only going to be what, 2,500 hit points or something like that. This is a far easier fight than the first one.
Yeah, my big thing is that Octomam resists the holy damage from that crystal sword.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This spot has 3,000 hit points. 3,002 to be weirdly precise.
3,002. That's odd.
No, it's even.
Well, actually, it's even.
Yeah.
Aww. Well, bye, Edward.
Yep.
Bravely, nobly, he fell. Here comes the Thunderclaw damage.
Yeah, this Thunderclaw damage should do it.
It's 1344. It's not quite enough, but I
think
think
slightly higher roll.
I think that even though the resistance to holy damage is going to nerf a little bit of this, a crystal sword is powerful enough to do enough. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, a crystal sword is a crystal sword, regardless. Yep. But when you're that close, it definitely makes you sweat. But Infinious gets through it. We will see what the key item that Luca has around her neck is. Didn't find any value in the bosses here or the character. The Tela allows you, if you want to do a D-Machine grind, you can. But you've got access to your good slate of white magic with Rosa, and you're not really needing much black magic, except for maybe there was the Antlion Asura that could be spicy if you're trying to melee it, but Crystal Cecil should be able to kill it before it kills you with sufficient levels.
Well, I don't really think that you would need to D-Machine grind in this, because you have pretty free and easy access to Sirens in this seed.
Yeah, exactly.
Found them in the Land of Summon Monsters, I think.
Yep, Land of Summon Monsters.
Yeah.
You rarely will see it in Swiss, because we are playing with a standard, and so Sirens are available 90% of the time, and D-Machine Grind has that added wrinkle of the Vanilla Giant, meaning you have to then beat both bosses afterwards, which adds in, 3 to 5 minutes, depending on what bosses are there, to your grind, when you could just Siren grind for faster.
Well, yeah, I mean, but if you do go the D-Machine route, it just means that you'll only have to do a few D-Machines, because you're going to get a boatload of experience from the 2 bosses that are required to get the hell out of the giant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we got a Baron key for our troubles on Infinious' side there, and Infinious is going to do that check immediately.
Was it a purple robe at the Bygone spot at the start?
I don't remember.
Because if it was, then we know that that's Mylon, and it makes sense why Infinious is booking
Right.
straight here.
Although I don't hate this check at all, considering it's just right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, right now, Infinious is. I like the idea of going through and doing as much on the Earth as you possibly can, because you've sunken so much time in the Earth and you've gotten so much out of it that to just immediately divert and do moon seems to be a little bit extreme for what you're dealing with right now. So I don't hate this at all.
Oh no, I love this. I'm definitely on Team Earth mostly first. Some small exceptions are if I already had a pass in hand, so I wouldn't have to double dive the moon,
right?
Or if I didn't have a viable grind in moon bosses, or what I was eyeing for that. Yeah, this Baron, there's 2 unknown bosses here, and if my memory is correct, which is a very shaky thing, we'll be getting an objective here.
There it is.
Indeed, Mylon. Yeah.
Yep, there it is. I used to run these with a pad of paper and a pen, and I really should start doing that again because I would write things like this down.
There was a really big brain strat we saw earlier in the tournament where there was a boss hunt and one of our runners was on the moon, pulled a Baron key from one of the moon spots, saved, reset his game, booted up a new game to see who the boss was there.
I love that though. That's great.
And then because it wasn't the boss that he needed, he went back to his moon save. But it was like, that was, if you've forgotten, that is such a big brain strat to get a very quick piece of info. I was so blown away.
That might be one of the most charming things I have heard when it comes to that. Oh, he doesn't have the spoon equipped.
Oh.
That's why Edward's hitting like a 5-year-old boy.
Phineas, you have a spoon. Spoon flag's on. Go on.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Cubsrule is keeping the Rydia, not taking the Tella, which I
there it is. There it is.
Yeah, I think he realized it in the middle of that battle and was like, oh, yeah, I should probably do that.
Yeah. Look, wait, was that?
He might have not been back road, so equipping the bow and arrow in the battle and then just switching it out. That's probably what he was doing.
That makes sense.
Because with Sineki, Edward doesn't always come equipped with a harp, so he's not always going to be back row glitched when you get him. He may come with like a silver dagger. Oh, okay. So neither on the giant, but both in Baron. If this leads to Legend Sword or Twin Harp, we're in go mode.
Yeah, that is a big check. Well, see, and now both you and I, Zoe, we get to go. How about those people that like to hit the moon immediately?
Exactly. All right, let's see. Let's see if this is a Moon's Haunted Seed. Knowing Solaris, it's going to be.
Right.
Because Solaris, in my opinion, is quickly gaining a reputation for rolling Moons Haunted.
So there's the other objective right there. Our character is Rydia. Okay, sure.
You didn't already have a good anchor, you could take Rydia here.
I guess. That's about what I feel that Rydia is good for, honestly.
And Cubsrule's going keyless tower.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, per se. What I'm interested in here is I'm interested in why Cubsrule isn't checking some of these chests. Are they just standing pat on their gear?
You've got a crystal sword. What more can you really pull? Maybe an Avenger would be the biggest pull.
Well, an Avenger would be great. I would love to see something like a crystal ring. You know, I would love to see a sorcerer robe or something like that for a white mage.
Okay, just another Zeus gauntlet. Okay.
yeah, that's all right. That's all right. But I mean, we are swimming in Zeus gauntlets right now.
Yeah. It's very, very hard to move your arms in this pool of Zeus gauntlets. Infinious using a tent here, probably going to go peek the boss at the Baron, the Odin spot. With the Crystal Sword Cecil and the levels he has, most anything should be doable unless it's something like Golbez.
Sure.
And Golbez is still doable if you get lucky enough.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even need to get lucky too. You could just play a little bit of the battle speed game. Yeah. Figure out how to.
Kanatsu at top of tower. This has a lot of HP. That's going to be hitting hard.
And Infinious has free down here.
Yeah, and the better variant of free, in my opinion.
This is a great free.
Yep.
I don't know if Infinious has the ability to stop them, though.
May still have that hourglass. I don't think he's burned it, but honestly, with Cecil being in the back row and having the equipment he does, once you zerk him up, I don't think the soldiers are going to be capable of killing him. And once all 3 soldiers are gone, the officer will run away. So,
and actually, it's totally fine to just ignore the officer on this because you've got access to sirens, so it's not like you have to really play for the experience on the fight. You can just have him run away and be done with it.
Yeah. Scala, the only person that can frog is currently taking a dirt nap, so no Big the Cat impression tonight. I'm sorry.
Yeah, his old man exit is catching up on his Z's. Should have kept Theridia.
I mean, you could have just, like, I don't know if Rosa has sized it yet, but you could have sized. Okay, reset.
Charm Rod. Black.
Yep.
Blech.
There's a quick check, though, and I love doing that Baron Throne, the Odin Throne, while you're already here and it's doable. Get it out of the way. I bet Infinious goes keyless tower here. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, and with
point,
the Thunderclaw, I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
So this actually is a position where I would go look at that sealed cave. You only need 1 of 2 key items.
Yeah.
And it was a harp, so he's making the right call, so I would lose that one. So Cubsrule.
I didn't see what Cubsrule got for the fight up there.
Oh, the twin harp.
Oh, the twin harp. Oh, I see. Copy.
That'll be go mode for Infinious once he's done with it.
Yep.
Did Cubsrule get the Baron key? I can't remember.
I do not believe so. No. Ali did not mark it off, so it doesn't look like it.
Because he needs to book it to Baron as soon as he gets it.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Now, Cubsrule only has 1 of the 5 possible objectives completed right now, and it's over an hour into the seed. I know with these flags, if I am over an hour and I still don't have a good lead on 3 of the 4 remaining objectives, I'm feeling a little behind, and I might make a silly play. I might make a moon play. But instead,
do your objectives.
Yep. Cubsrule is going to complete objectives right here, and that is a good play. That's a great play, and a Legend Sword here would actually be a really interesting pull. Unnecessary, kind of redundant.
Yeah, it would be false hope because your go mode is literally just Baron. Now you could take, if you get the Legend Sword here, you could just take the first fight in Baron Castle and then walk back out.
True.
But that might take longer than doing the second fight in the cutscene.
Well, especially at these levels too.
Yeah. And looking at Cubsrule's tracker on his stream, it looks like he does have the Baron key. So hopefully he makes his way there after this. I totally get doing this first. This is required. And for all you know, this is going to get you your progression.
Yeah, this is a very, very close match. A lot closer than it looks.
Yeah, and this went from no objectives about 40 minutes in to we're in go mode very quickly.
Yep. So there's the twin harp for Infinious, and Infinious knows that he's in the driver's seat now.
Yep. Just go take out the Cave Magnus check, play some wonderful music for us, and then do a grind, and then dive the LST. Unless Twin Harpist pass, and then that would be just the best case scenario for Infinious, because then he'll be right there by Troya.
Cubsrule is laying down a save.
I love this play recently. I've been doing it a lot because while we have seen Wyvern, we have not seen Golbez. And Golbez in this spot has a ridiculously high magic attack stat, and with the ridiculously high magic defense, does not do much damage to himself. D-Lunars is also off here. Yes, Solaris, our restreamer, pointing out in chat.
I'm not crazy about Virus when everyone's at full.
Yeah. If you could get it off, if it would have killed people, you would have been fine. Otherwise, it's just a little bit of a time loss.
Yeah. And I got to be honest, this is something that I accidentally do on occasion as well. You get the HP ran out, HP ran out, HP ran out thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Oof, that hurts. That's the Cave Magnus check is actually, in my opinion, a very interesting one, especially because of that Sea Nike flag, because you don't get like free iron rings on everybody.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, DJ Spoonie B is going to spin us a tune on the harp. So as much as it pains us, we'll be quiet.
This tune.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I have no idea what that tune is from. Huh.
It's a Wild Arms tune.
Oh! Wild Arms!
And Water Hag.
Well, okay.
That is the opposite of Golbez.
Yep, so go ahead and sneeze 3 times and this fight's over. So Infinious is doing something here that I don't know how I feel about this. I think Infinious plans on doing the grind and not coming back down here because he knows that after Twin Harp, it's go mode, right? So he's doing the grind now, getting it out of the way, going up, doing Twin Harp, and then going to the moon. I don't know. Maybe this is a bigger brain play than I am capable of.
I like this because let's see, he left off. He was still underground, so. It saves him the transition of going back up and then coming back down. So get the grind out of the way while you're here, then go ahead and take the Twin Heart and then grab your whale and go to the moon.
And he's got 10 key items too, so each of these fights is 68k.
Yeah, that Twin Heart was his 10th key item. So his grind's going to be really expedient. And unfortunately, that Twin Heart only rewarded a Bahamut summon. So we are not going to have a pass. We're going to have to walk a lunar subterranean.
And CJ, the grind absolutely should be called the experience egg.
It should be called the lucky egg, because that's what gives you extra experience in Pokemon.
It's the experience egg in Final Fantasy VI.
Oh,
Zoe.
you're right. You're right.
Zoe.
You're right. I'm ashamed of myself. I play Worlds Collide. FF6 is my favorite game of all time. I am ashamed of myself.
Oh, no. But you had Pokemon on the mind long before we started this.
I did.
So that's fair. That's fair.
I did with the Ultra joke from earlier. I've been stuck on Pokemon.
Yeah. Cubsrule doing the Baron check, and there it is, right there.
All right. This is actually going to be pretty close. Infinious has the advantage of already having done his grind, but Cubsrule should be leaving Baron Castle with Crystal in hand at about the same time that Infinious is getting his Crystal. So really, they're just a grind apart here.
Yeah. This looks like, what, 1 minute and 30 seconds apart, probably. I don't see any complications coming out for Infinious right now, so Infinious is definitively in the lead. But you never know what could happen during that Zeromus fight.
Yeah, we don't have anything like a Z1R level 8. We don't have anything like a Dragon Lord. We don't have a true great equalizer, but Zeromus can definitely equalize. And if things go slightly sideways for Infinious, Cubsrule is definitely not out of this by a long shot.
Well, I didn't check the HP levels for Infinious' Rosa, but that's going to be the real key right here. Is Rosa going to be able to survive a full-powered Big Bang? And a full-powered, unnerfed Big Bang has the potential to drop her at only 2,200 hit points right there.
Yeah, she does have a Silent Staff on. I'm not sure if she has any other things that give her Magic Evade multipliers through Wisdom or Will. If you saw that Tiara, it'd be actually great to toss on her here.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So she's likely to survive every Big Bang tossed out, even if it's unnerved. So very bad luck could still hit Infinious hard, but it's a bit of a long shot.
Let's get a Wild Arms Encore. Oh, I love it. I love it. Infinious does the courtesy check. Love the courtesy check. So there's the crystal on Cubsrule's stream right there. Got it before Infinious, and Infinious has a little bit of dialogue to get through.
Yep. Cubsrule has the cutscene here, has to reject this Rydia, and then walk and check the trash can. Infinious has access to exit. We'll be able to exit out of Cave Magnus, but they'll both be Cubsrule will probably be boarding the Enterprise to figure out his grind at about the time that Infinious is boarding the Black Chocobo to fly back to Troy area.
My goodness, they are neck and neck here. This is 60 seconds, maybe 120 seconds apart from each other. And there's the crystal on Infinious' side.
Yeah. Right now, the only thing separating these runners is the grind. Were these runners on equal footing, both needing to grind or both already having done the grind? Looks like Cubsrule would be slightly ahead, just being already back at the Enterprise.
Only a little bit, though.
Yeah, this is a super, super close race. I think this is Infinious' race to lose with the level advantage, but this is going to be a fun one to finish out, and I'm glad that we were joined by the Free Enterprise crowd to watch this one finish out. This has been a great race thus far. To recap, just a little bit for anybody coming in, our Mylon was our Beigen spot. We saw Mylon Zed in the Tower of Zot. That did not mean to rhyme. So as soon as they did Zot to get their hook, they knew that the purple robe in Baron was their Mylon. Baron Key from Dwarf Castle. So when they both went to go check that, they found an Ogopogo on the throne, got an extra bonus objective. Pinktail was the starting item, and Twin Harp was at the top of Keyless Tower. Both runners did indeed make that play. Yeah, that's your pretty brief recap. Other than that, there's been a lot of divergence between how they got to things, but both runners have covered pretty much the exact same ground.
God, the memory, Zoe. Gracious. You have several dozen levels of memory on me right now.
Look, you're the color commentator. I'm the one that's providing all the random facts.
A shade of beige next to you right now. All right, so we got a grind on Cubsrule's stream right here, and Cubsrule did spend a little bit of time in the menu trying to figure out what he's going to do for an agility anchor right here, and I think what he came down to was probably trying to figure out what to do with like a cursed ring.
Yeah.
Because I don't see any other. I don't see any other way that Cubsrule is going to really get by with leveling everyone as hard as he is.
Yeah, giving everyone a bit of an HP pool should allow them to survive that first nerf Big Bang, and a Curse Ring on that Rydia should still suffice, or Agility Anchor to get RA1 on your Rosa, your Cecil, your Yang, and your Edward. So I can definitely see it here. Because there was a Curse Ring in the Treasury. There was also one, I believe, on the way to the Land of Summon Monsters. There was one. So we definitely have Curse Ring in hand.
Oh, so we have the menu boss right here. We have the menu boss. There's the cursed ring. Just burned a siren just to do it. I actually love that.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take that power robe off and that bandana off of Yang and give that gear to Crystal Sword Cecil. That is gonna be our big thumper for the evening.
Yeah, the only thing that Cecil is wishing he had right now would be an Avenger, just to make sure that his Berserk stuck through any potential black holes. But yeah, this is he's gonna go Burr, gonna be critting for upwards of 8,000 damage, pretty static 4 to 5k per swing. So he's gonna drop with relative ease, especially with a Spoon Word and a Yang contributing some extra damage.
Yeah, I think Yang in the backup is really actually going to prove to be the difference here, because Yang is going to dole out about 2,500 to 3,000 damage per shot at the levels that he's at right now. But as we approach the final stretch here, Zoe, there is only one question that we have on our minds. Which butt who kick?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, is it time for broccoli?
It's always time for broccoli. I love broccoli.
Broccoli is good.
So good.
But yeah, if you have found your way here, you have no idea what it is that's going on, and you know about Final Fantasy IV, welcome, first of all. And second of all, we don't randomize Zeromus. We don't move him around or change anything about him script-wise, because he's already really hard, and putting him anywhere else would be too dangerous. And we try and reward vanilla knowledge, so we don't want to adjust his script, but it gets really boring if you just fight the same ugly mug at the end of every single free enterprise seed.
Yeah, the rejected Metroid.
Yeah, exactly. So instead, we have, as of the newest update, 525 different randomized sprites that Zeromus can transform into, with accompanying names, some more punny than others. So we get to see whose butt we're kicking tonight.
Which butt who kick?
Which butt who kick? Whose posterior is inferior? Another joke that I stole from Dijon Ketchup, because she is incredibly funny.
Whose booty's gonna go Scooty? Here we go. What do we turn into?
Oh, love it, love it, love it!
Brilliant.
The mist on the metal mist is perfect.
It's perfect.
That was just so thematic.
Miss. Nope, can't hit him. Can't hit him. See, can't hit him.
We're being invaded from the other Randomanias, because they have Dragon Warrior Randomizer up on theirs. But we got a little bit of Dragon Warrior Rando in our Grand Prize tonight.
Oh, I thought for a moment Infinious berserked Tella, and I was like, are we going quit Zerk right now?
I wouldn't hate it just for the Q jamming. Like,
absolutely. And a very favorable target for that nuke right there.
Yeah, there are, of the targets on your screen, there's 2 you wanted to hit. It was either Yang or Tella. You got one of the 2.
Oh.
Yep. Oh.
Oh. 7,200. My goodness.
Yeah. That was a crit, so it's still good. Doesn't quite have the DPS here, unless he gets a few more lucky crits, I don't think, to skip the second Big Bang. You need about 12,000 damage per round of your characters going to skip the second Big Bang. We're a little bit shy of that. With some more lucky crits and lucky rolls, we might skip the second Big Bang, but this party is set up perfectly to eat that second one, and as long as we can fade a single rocks hit, we'll be fine.
And meanwhile, Cubsrule hot on Infinious's heels. This is going to be a tight finish. I love to see somebody get into the fight and have two Zeromas fights side by side. That is a great race.
See if Cubs can get there before Infinious gets out.
What was Cubs doing just then? Thinking about grinding on some D-lunars?
Just took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. It's fine. That intersection is now forever known as Albuquerque. And if you...
No, we don't have any bear claws!
Hey, Buffett. You got weasels on your face.
And then I knew it was true love at first sight.
You got Miss B for that, but
I do.
What was I saying? I think Infinious is almost done here.
Yep, sure is.
We bantered our way through this Zeromas fight,
and
that is
shake,
it.
rattle, and roll.
GG's to Infinious, our first place winner here tonight. A finish time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 23 seconds. Very nice progression, 1s to 3s.
Outstanding.
We'll be getting 3 points moving into the 3-point bracket, or 3-point bucket. There's a lot of ways to call it. For week 2, Cubsrule entering the Z fight. Very, very close race. Honestly, there's very little that I could point to that would really mark the difference here. I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I know what it is.
What?
And it's you were prescient, Muppets. The early game looting. The looting that Infinious had that gave him the advantage is the difference here.
Absolutely. With the getting that Thunderclaw and being able to put it together that the Thunderclaw was going to get you through Odin. The power shirt was huge. The early game looting, that was definitely the difference, and by micrometers. And congratulations, Infinious, and welcome into the winner's circle for tonight.
Thank you. I know I did win, but I made a few errors which I kind of hate.
Oh, wow. Coming right out against yourself on that one. Talk to us a little bit about what errors you think you made on this scene.
Well, so obviously to me, the first one that comes to mind was that awkward wipe to the Rubicante into Octomon fight. Like there was just a few misinputs that that just wrecked me completely. I don't know, forgetting to check Demus before I headed down to underground once I got the Magna Key from Antlion. That's it. I did get punished for it, but that to me that's kind of a mistake, because one of the things I do value highly is to try to get if I get up an early pan to try to do a single dip for bull, and that just missing that
Sure.
Was bad. But I think again didn't get punished for it, but still an error. So
sure. Talk to us a little bit about something that we've been talking about throughout the entire race. Early game. Talk to me about your early game setup and what it is that you look to get out of your early game looting and your early game route.
It's funny. It's something that came up in the race room, is that if I have no early damage, at which Rosa Porum, God bless them both, no damage. So I tend to loot. I tend to loot a bit more than I would feel comfortable to be. So like I think my loot number ended up being like 89, which is like way above what I feel happy about.
Sure.
But it turns and so I looted. So obviously I looted Watery Pass. I think I got a white spear and like some other goodies. But then I saw that Demus and Rydia. It's like, no. So I thought, yeah, let's give it a shot. First shot was like 20 something. It's like, nope, let's come back later. Thank you very much. But yeah, Damsian, I think you'll have to agree that Damsian bailed me up pretty hard.
Yeah, sure did.
I think I can point towards the finish times here as Cubsrule is finishing up here pretty soon, assuming this doesn't go tail end up. That Damsian play and you basically bailing on that demist first and coming back later, that alone was probably the difference here, because Cubsrule sat through the demist the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got there a little bit later than you. You both ended up in the fight at the same time when you came back for it, but he'd already been in there for about a minute. If not more. So honestly, your early game looting, pulling that silent staff and that elven bow out of Damsian, that's really what did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Also, that Odin was kind of rude.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I feel happy about bailing on that as soon as I saw the damage numbers being like 1k. Yeah. So again, no damage. So I didn't know I saw Yang in Baron. So it's like, I've got Thunderclaw somewhere around. I've looted somewhere. I'll come back later.
So Infinious, when you're looking at looting in your early game, is there ever a point at which you get a certain piece of gear for a certain character setup that you go, I'm good, it's go time? Like, you know, a crystal sword for a paladin Cecil or something like that. But anything early game that's maybe a little less obvious than that you're like, no, I think I'm gonna stand pat here and just start my push.
I think it depends on what characters you think are available. Like, I kind of also made. Oh, that's another error. I actually sold the white spear I looted.
Okay, yeah, I called that out. I was like, all right, giving up on the cane already.
No. It's like I was meant to sell the apple instead. It's like I sold. It's like, well, I'm not restaying out of this. It's sold. Whatever. Move on.
Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else involved, that is Cubsrule GG's right there. A shake, rattle, and roll. Time of 1:27:35. And there she goes. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yep. GG's to Cubsrule. A little bit more than 5 minutes behind. Yeah, definitely not much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
So
way closer than it looked.
One thing I want to mention before I let Muppets go back to asking great questions here is you're going to want to watch this one back, primarily because my luck with calling random things for you is still active, apparently.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh my goodness.
There was one in particular, which was when you went into the Troya shops. I was like, oh, he's probably looking for life potions. And then you found the life potions. And the second ones, I didn't get to quite say it because I was behind Muppets, but the crystal sword from Pinktail I was about to call.
Yep.
Because we had already seen the Cecil on the moon from
Zoe was thinking it.
Cubsrule. So I was about to say it, and then it happened. And I was like, okay, just for the record, yes, it happened again on Infinious.
Yeah.
So 2 more to the docket here, at least. I think there may have been 1 more, but yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and bring Cubsrule in. Actually, have him, join into the convo. Cubsrule, very well raced, and congratulations on a really, really tight race. I mean, 5 minutes may seem like an eon to a lot of runners, but this was close the whole way, and much closer than it even looks on paper.
GG Infinious, well done. Well done.
Yeah, GG's Cubsrules. I thought that my only hope was that you struggled on either Demist or Odin.
And in fact, I did both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a very rude Odin there, I have to say.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Cubsrule, I want to ask you a couple of questions here before we decide where we're going to go here. I would like to ask you about, so you're going through it all. You found yourself a darkness crystal, and you go, well, that opens up everything. And you've checked 25% of what's around. What keeps you from just jumping headlong into the moon right there? What does it take to get you to check the moon, or just check the character on the moon immediately? Or like, what are you thinking when you see that darkness crystal right away?
Oh, with that party, I was instantly heading to check the character.
Right.
Yeah, there was like after the demist, I'm like, oh god, please just give me somebody who can deal some damage. I didn't really feel comfortable at all with that. Just even face checking anything on the moon. It was. I went in, grabbed the character, and hit up K Bahamut and go.
Yep.
Oh, you actually checked K Bahamut. Okay.
I was planning on it was Dolls and Bahamut, so if I ever got Quake, I was planning on going back quickly. So that just never happened.
Yeah,
Yep.
if you had any good source of damage there, I think you had that hourglass in your inventory. Would have been
Oh yeah.
would have been nice.
Actually, if because I believe you kept your radio, right? So if you had Toad, you can actually, if you multi-target Toad onto the party, that would also do it. You just have to take out the front three.
True. I still only had the three mages and Dark Knight Festival.
Yeah.
It would have been slow. It would have been very slow.
Yeah.
But
So of course, when you got three mages and weaklings at that, and a Dark Knight Cecil, you're headed right for ordeals at that point in time. Once you've completed ordeals, you've got a host of options available to you with a Crystal Sword Cecil. How do you make your determination of whether you go underground, stay up top, or go to the moon when you've got it all laid out for you like that?
Flip a coin, hope for the best.
I mean,
that's about all you can do.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that.
So
like, you kind of have to make a call of some sort. Like, I basically stayed on Earth basically because I still need to do some sort of grind, and I didn't feel happy to do a grind at 8 key items.
Right.
So that's what it came down to for me. So it's like, all right, let's just try to force through Dwarf Castle, see if that's a key item, and then also check through the top of tower. Although I guess I got Baron Key from Dwarf Castle, so the old Mylon into Ogo, who saw that one coming.
Yeah.
To be honest, I completely forgot that was a purple robe until after I'd done Zot. So I'm like, wait a minute, I should go back there.
No, I knew.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Like because I remembered thinking as soon as I saw that I was like, all right, is this what I'm looking for? Oh wait, it is. Hang on, no wait. My tracker says Mylon Z. Never mind, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah. It was actually kind of funny because when you were going through Baron, like when Infinious was walking through the waterway, I was like, was it a purple robe at the start? I'm pretty sure it was a purple robe at the start. So we know that that's the Mylon, and that led nicely into the Ogopogo. I do have one last question for y'all before we pass this over to our raid target. At about the same time in the seed, y'all both went Keyless Tower despite having the Darkness Crystal, despite both having a Crystal Sword Cecil, and I believe at least one of you had a Moonveil, which would have made the Antlion in Feymarch not too bad. Why Keyless Tower there?
To be honest, I just didn't feel comfortable doing the moon yet in terms of levels.
Huh.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
I love the Keyless Tower play, but
I've been bitten by Keyless Tower by not doing Keyless Tower too much recently, so recency bias has kicked in for me.
Hey, it paid off this time. Got your twin harp.
Yeah.
I've got one more question for both
Honestly,
of you.
I was debating Sealed Cave after the tower. I wasn't even.
Oh yeah, no, I was doing that too. I was fully planning to do that too. Like once you commit to doing Keyless Tower, or you kind of press into also check Sealed Cave, and also I guess if you feel you're confident enough to handle the Antline after that.
Yeah, I was actually advocating for checking Sealed Cave at least for the information before doing the Keyless Tower, and then y'all both proved me wrong. Yeah,
right.
Muppet, you got one more question?
Yep, just one more. And quick answers. Favorite grind, both of you, go.
D machine, I guess, which makes me sad, but
Cubsrule?
Gold dragons, if you have the hourglasses.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Perfect, love that.
And then, honestly, I was planning on doing a couple warlocks on the moon when I got up there.
Warlocks hype, nice.
Yeah. And it's just like, screw it, go for it.
Yeah.
Well, very well raced, guys. Thank you so much for stopping in and showing off a plethora of very well run routes. GG's to you both, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
Very
you
much.
to both of you for doing comms. Thank you, Alice, for tracking, and thank you, Solaris, for restreaming and rolling this amazing seed. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what Solaris had. Solaris has something to do, so I guess we should let him go do that
Yeah.
off of that jet seed.
Solaris just doesn't like putting key items on the moon. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, look.
All right.
Now, Moon could have been required. You just had to do the White Spear altar to get the pan. To then turn it to go to Sheila 1 or Sheila, and she had the goods. That's fine.
all right.
Yeah, pass. Thank you again, everyone involved. GG again, Infinious. Looking forward to next match.
Yeah. Thank you.
GG's
Thank you
Cubsrule, so
both.
good luck next round.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
GG's. Muppets, you want to tell the lovely audience where we're going?
Oh, why, thank you very much, Zoe. I would love to tell. We're going to Tibble. Doing some casual free enterprise practice. Go ahead and stick around. Give Tibble some love. It's going to be a great time as always. It's free enterprise, and you just got off some hype here. Go throw that hype out to Tibble forever for us. So thank you very much for coming in and hanging out with us. And Zoe, thank you very much for coming in and really carrying a good majority of the commentary booth here.
Well, thank you. I think the same of you. And when you reach Tybalt, don't let the hype get the best of you. Do not spoil. Let Tybalt and those in his chat watch this race back via VOD if they do intend to do so. But this is probably going to be our last restream match for the week. We have not made a determination about tomorrow's match. So worst case scenario, we'll be back Tuesday, and we'll have new races and new pairings out sometime tomorrow, probably. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.